How you doing, folks? I'm Gary, and this is the Cultic Drummer. Welcome back, folks, to another wee episode here on the channel with myself. What I'm going to do tonight is one of my wee reviews of a blended Scotch, and the one we've grabbed for this episode is Adelphi's Private Stock. What I'll do is I'll get some of this into the glass and we'll have a wee chat. Right, guys, Adelphi. I think I might have looked at a couple of Adelphi in the past. I would have to look back at the content. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have. Adelphi is an independent bottler here in Scotland. An independent bottler is a company that goes out and buys whisky from other distilleries, brings it back to their own place, plays around with it, maybe gives it a different finish, a bit of a longer maturation, you know, that kind of things. Then they bottle it and sell it under their own name, in this case Adelphi, and they still release it 90% of the time as the name of the distillery from which it's come from. You know, if they've gone out and bought, I don't know, Tierninich whisky from Tierninich distillery, it'll come out under an Adelphi brand, but it'll still say it's from Tierninich distillery. So independent bottlers. Adelphi as a company, as well as being an independent bottler, they also have the Ardnamurchan distillery out on the west coast of Scotland. I've covered, I think, 3 of the Ardnamurchan releases on here in the past. Definitely the Paul Noir, which you can go back and have a look at that. And Ardnamurchan release their single malt whiskies under a sort of numerical code, which normally starts with AD and then something like 04/02, etc. So I can't actually remember which 2 I've covered here. If you go back, you'll find the Ardnamurchan single malt releases on there as well. Very good. So, what this one here is a blended Scotch whisky, which means it is a mixture of malt whisky and grain whisky blended together. From the research I can find out on this particular one, what they do is they have a Solera cask. Now, I know I've talked about Solera casks in the past. In effect, it's a big, large wooden tank. They put various whiskies into it, mix it all up in effect, and then they drain it off, bottle it. They leave some in the cask, and that's the start of the next load that they dump in, mix it all up, and then later they'll drain that off and bottle it up. So it's a constant sort of, it's never going dry, you're just constantly making up that, and it'll come out as different batches. And that's what Adelphi have done with this private stock, as they call it. It's released at 40% ABV, so it's out there at your minimum standard. It's non-chill filtered and it's natural colour. The contents of it, they haven't released, but as an independent bottler, they've got their fingers in lots of pies and they'll be taking in whisky from all over the places. So, you know, it's probably going to be very good content whisky in there. And what we'll do is try to see if there's any more information on the bottle there. There's not. We'll give it a wee sniff, we'll have a wee talk about it. %, ABV, there's nothing harsh on the nose as you'd expect. It's quite fruity on the nose. From the research again, what I was looking at earlier, a lot of people believe that there'd be a higher content of malt to grain in this, and going on the nose there's quite a large fruitiness to it. Sort of apple fruits, orchard fruits, so I'm going to go with there being a fair content of Speyside in it. And there might not be, it could just be my nose, but you know, going on that nose, I reckon there's a quite a large percentage on the Speyside. Good bit of honey in it as well. Yeah, honey, definitely. There's almost a background of peat in it, maybe peat, maybe more salty coastal influence. Adelphi as a distillery, or Ardnamurchan as a distillery, has this coastal influence on their single malts, and it has a peatiness to it. A lot of their malts come out at an almost 50% of peated to non-peated drams, so I think there's quite a good side of that salty coastal peatiness comes in Ardnamurchan whiskey, and I'm maybe getting a sort of background of that sort of coastal element coming through in this. Just in the background, nothing harsh. That's a pleasant nose. Let's have a sip. A lot more saltiness on the palate than on the nose, and the fruit almost sort of dissipates quickly on the palate. The sort of saltiness is more there. As you take in a breath of air, the peatiness is there towards the top of the mouth, coming down into the back of the throat. There's a nice long finish. It's still there. There's a slight dryness about it as well. It's quite a nice dryness. Yeah, definitely the nose the nose is fantastic and fruity, I think. The palate goes the opposite way, and it is more sort of saline, coastal, campfire-ish, very gentle campfire-ish in there. Yeah, both of them, there's almost a contrast between the nose and the palate, but both are equally as nice. It's one of those drams that there's nothing nasty about it. It's really coming through. So, getting almost like a licorice coming in at the end there. Just as I took a sharp intake of breath, there was a licorice come in there just at the back of the mouth. It was a nice it was almost that, you ever a sherbet dab or a sherbet fountain, that kind of licorice, like a sweet licorice. Sometimes you get hard licorice, and I don't like that. That was like a sweet sherbet fountain, tingly licorice. Hands going there, it's almost like I'm trying to play bagpipes. Maybe for next time, there is a chanter over there soon. I'm going to turn around and say I like that, but yeah, I've had a good whack at it already. Drank some and I shared some over Christmas. That's nice. I got this bottle from Master of Malts, £29 I think it was. Sometimes it drops out of stock, so it was one of those ones. I've gone on to buy it, it's disappeared. Gone on to buy it, it's disappeared. Just recently, it was only maybe 2 weeks ago or something. I went on, had a look, it was there, I bought it there and then. £29 for a very well made blended scotch. I was having a discussion online last night, today, with some guys out in America, and we were talking about scotches, popularity of blended scotches abroad. You know, we were looking at the top 10 whiskies by sales, and the majority of them tend to be blended scotch. And when I look at these, what I see is blended scotch popularity by sales. So they're popular by, in effect, their price and how inexpensive they are, to be honest. Whereas what I think popularity for me is really about how good the whiskey is. And I was trying to have this discussion with these guys, and we're talking, you know, to me, I can pick this up for £29, and this is 100% better than half the blended scotches I see on these top 10 sales around the world. But then again, I don't suppose it's always available in Mexico or something like that, where half of these whiskies you know, they sell this blended scotches in Mexico, no names mentioned, and it boosts their sales figures. They're not going to be able to buy all this sort of stuff out there. So yeah, those figures are out there. Whether they mean anything, I don't know. But I digress. For me, Adelphi's private stock. What is it actually called? Adelphi's Loyal Old Mature Private Stock. That is £29 on Master of Malts. If you can get your hands on this, please give this a go. It is a pretty nice blended scotch. It makes it different from your single malt. And on occasion, I don't know how often it is, but they do some cask strength versions on occasion. I think one that they had recently, you'll see it with it's almost like a red stripe coming across the top of this chap here, and it's I think the cask strength one was at about 57% and had a heavier peat content. So keep your eye out in some of those. If you want this, jump onto Master of Malts. And I'm no advertising. 29 quid. Fantastic blended scotch. I can't even do this lunch because I've finished it. Shit. Cheers.